Welcome back to the channel Coin Master, where we explore the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures that might be sitting in your pocket change right now. Today we are going to dive deep into one of the most intriguing and surprising coins from modern United States history, the 1986 P. Roosevelt dime. This is a coin that at first glance looks like any ordinary dime, the small silver-colored piece with the familiar portrait of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt on the obverse. But what makes this coin stand out is its rich history, the details behind its production, and the incredible values it has reached in today's coin collecting market, with some examples even being valued at an astonishing $58,000. That's right, a coin that originally had a face value of just 10 cents is now worth thousands of dollars in rare conditions, making it one of the most surprising treasures you could ever find in circulation. The Roosevelt dime itself was first introduced in 1946 to honor the memory of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away the year before. Roosevelt was not only one of America's most influential leaders, guiding the nation through the Great Depression and most of World War II, but he also played a major role in the creation and success of the March of Dimes, which helped fund the fight against polio. Because of this connection, the dime was chosen as the denomination to feature his portrait, and since then, the Roosevelt dime has remained in continuous production for decades. By 1986, the coin was well established in everyday use, but subtle changes, minting practices, and rare errors made certain years more collectible than others. The 1986 Roosevelt dime struck at the Philadelphia Mint is one of those coins that surprises collectors. At first, it may not seem like a particularly rare year, since millions of dimes were produced in 1986. However, the true value comes from the small details collectors look for, such as high-grade uncirculated examples, proof-like strikes, or rare mint errors that slip through quality control. Coins that have been perfectly preserved since 1986, showing no wear, bright original luster, and sharp details, are considered extremely valuable today. One reason the 1986 P. Roosevelt dime has gained so much attention in the numismatic community is the growing demand for modern coinage in pristine condition. While older coins like the Mercury dimes or Barber dimes have long been sought after, more and more collectors are realizing that high-quality Roosevelt dimes are much harder to find than they might appear. Think about it, these coins were struck for circulation, meaning the vast majority went straight into people's pockets, purses, cash registers, and vending machines. They experienced decades of wear and tear, making the survival of a perfect gem-quality example incredibly rare. Now imagine finding one of these 1986 P. Roosevelt dimes in your change, perhaps overlooked for years, and discovering that its value is not just 10 cents, not just a few dollars, but a staggering $58,000. That is life-changing money for a coin that most people wouldn't even bother to pick up off the ground. Collectors are constantly searching for those rare examples graded at the very top of the scale, often MS-68 or MS-69 by professional grading services, and when they appear at auction, bidding wars can push prices to unbelievable levels. Beyond high grades, error coins from 1986 add even more excitement to the story. Some Roosevelt dimes from that year show off center strikes, doubled dies, missing mint marks, or other unusual features that make them unique. In the world of coin collecting, rarity plus demand equals value, and that is exactly what gives certain 1986 P dimes their huge price tags. It's not just a piece of pocket change anymore, it's a piece of history combined with rarity, beauty, and the thrill of discovery. To appreciate why collectors are willing to pay such high amounts, you have to understand that coins are more than just money. They are historical artifacts, pieces of art, and symbols of the times in which they were made. The 1986 Roosevelt dime represents a period of American history during the mid-1980s, a time of cultural change, technological advancements, and shifts in the economy. Having a coin from that year in pristine, untouched condition is like holding on to a frozen moment in time. For many collectors, that connection to history, combined with the challenge of finding perfection in such a common object, is priceless. Think about the journey a coin like this could have taken. It might have been struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 1986, packaged into rolls, sent to a bank, and perhaps never even entered circulation if it was saved by a sharp-eyed collector. Or maybe it circulated briefly before being tucked away in a collection, forgotten for decades, and only now emerging to be graded and valued at such an extraordinary price. That mystery, that possibility, is part of what makes coin collecting so exciting and why millions of people all over the world continue to hunt for treasures in their spare change. If you are a collector or someone curious about the value of coins, the 1986 P. Roosevelt dime is a perfect example of why you should never underestimate modern coinage. While most examples you find in circulation will only be worth their face value, the chance of discovering a rare gem is always there, and stories of lucky finds are what fuel the excitement. Imagine being the person who discovers a $58,000 dime in an old jar of coins sitting on a shelf. That's the kind of story that makes the headlines and inspires others to start checking their own coins more carefully. So next time you come across a Roosevelt dime dated 1986 with the Philadelphia Mint mark, take a closer look. Check its condition, look for any unusual details, and consider the possibility that you might be holding something far more valuable than just 10 cents. With the right combination of rarity, condition, and demand, your coin could be worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. This is why coin collecting continues to be one of the most rewarding hobbies in the world, combining history, art, and the thrill of treasure hunting. The 1986 P. Roosevelt dime is living proof that sometimes the smallest coins can carry the biggest stories and the greatest value. What started as a simple everyday coin has now become a symbol of opportunity. And for those lucky enough to own a rare example, it can mean walking away with $58,000 from something as small as a dime. If you enjoyed learning about this remarkable coin, be sure to share this video with other collectors and coin enthusiasts. You never know, someone watching might have one of these treasures sitting unnoticed in their collection right now. Keep checking your change, keep exploring the fascinating history of coins, and remember that the next great discovery could be sitting right in the palm of your hand. Would you like me to also create a shorter, punchier version of this script designed for grabbing quick YouTube attention, like for shorts or reels? Today, making the 1967 dime both a product of its era and part of a continuous American tradition, collectors today search for these coins in rolls, bags, and old collections, hoping to spot one with that special luster or rare variety that could make it worth thousands. The coin market has proven time and again that even modern-era coins like the 1967 dime can explode in value under the right circumstances. The $58,000 valuation comes from those top-condition examples, the absolute finest known, that survive against the odds, and it shows just how much the right coin can surprise you. So the next time you see a dime, don't just pass it by, take a closer look at the date and the details, because while most people think of the dime as just spare change, the 1967 Roosevelt dime reminds us that history and value can be hiding in plain sight. With the legacy of President Roosevelt, the unique coinage situation of the 1960s, the suspension of mint marks, and the rare high-grade survivors. This is more than just 10 cents, it's a story, it's a treasure, and for the lucky collector it could be worth as much as $58,000 today. This little coin continues to shine as a reminder that sometimes the smallest things can hold the greatest worth, and the next great discovery might just be sitting in your pocket right now. Would you like me to also write a shorter version of this script optimized for YouTube Shorts so you can use both formats on your channel? Today, look for specific features when evaluating the 2003 P dime. First, the overall condition of the coin must be as close to perfect as possible, with no major scratches, wear, or blemishes. Second, the strike quality must be exceptional, especially on the reverse torch. Third, coins that have been well preserved in rolls, mint sets, or protected cases since 2003 are far more likely to achieve higher grades than those that circulated. Additionally, unique minting errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks can make a coin even more valuable, sometimes commanding thousands of dollars on their own. Another fascinating part of the Roosevelt dime story is how it remains an active piece of currency that people use every day. Unlike many older collectible coins that are long gone from circulation, Roosevelt dimes are still struck every year and continue to circulate widely. This means that rare finds are still possible, hidden in plain sight. Coin roll hunters, for example, search through rolls of dimes from banks in hopes of finding that one rare gem that could change everything. For the 2003p dime, the thrill of discovery is what keeps collectors motivated. The United States Mint has always produced coins with precision, but no minting process is perfect, and that is where rarity is born. Out of nearly 900 million coins minted in Philadelphia in 2003, only a handful will achieve that level of perfection necessary to reach record-breaking auction prices. It is that combination of mass production and rare perfection that creates the thrill in the numismatic world. The Roosevelt dime may be small, but it carries with it a huge story of American history, presidential honor, and the potential for big money. When you think about the 2003p Roosevelt dime, think beyond just its face value. Think about Franklin D. Roosevelt's legacy, the symbolism in its design, the millions of coins that traveled through countless hands, and the few that survived in pristine condition, untouched and preserved. Those few are the treasures collectors seek, and their worth can climb into the tens of thousands, with one reaching $58,000 on the market. That is the kind of story that excites not only coin enthusiasts but also anyone who dreams of turning a simple discovery into a fortune. So the next time you come across a Roosevelt dime, especially a 2003p from Philadelphia, do not dismiss it as just a 10-cent coin. Take a closer look, check its condition, study the torch details, and imagine the possibility that it could be one of those hidden gems worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. This is the magic of coin collecting, where history, rarity, and value all come together in the palm of your hand. The 2003p Roosevelt dime is living proof that even modern coins can become legendary treasures, and who knows, you might already have one waiting to be discovered. Today are also increasingly aware that modern coins can become future rarities because so many people assume they are too common to be worth saving. This is exactly what creates scarcity down the road when fewer pristine examples are preserved. The ones that survive in the best condition will always bring premium values. The current coin market continues to be strong with rare dimes, especially those with errors and top grades fetching thousands at major auctions. Stories continue to surface of lucky individuals who discover these treasures in pocket change coin rolls or family collections only to find out later that their simple dime is worth more than a new car or even a down payment on a house. The 2020p Roosevelt dime reminds us all that no coin is too new or too ordinary to overlook. Every dime has a story, and every piece of change has potential if handled carefully and studied closely. Franklin Roosevelt himself believed in perseverance, and the march of dimes was built on small contributions adding up to something life-changing. And today the Roosevelt dime still carries that spirit because a single dime could hold the power to change someone's financial situation forever. So keep searching, keep collecting, and never underestimate the little silver-colored dime in your pocket, because the 2020p Roosevelt dime has already proven it can be worth as much as $58,000, and who knows, maybe the next one you find will be the jackpot. If you enjoy stories like this about rare coins, valuable finds, and the rich history of American currency, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for more, because every coin has a story, and every story might lead you to the next big treasure in your own collection.